Welcome to the Tom Bomb Podcast. We're live in Los Angeles, California. Here we have an exclusive interview with Tom Bomb. Shout out to Pop Radio Worldwide, Spotify Premium, iHeartRadio. I hope you enjoy.
Viper, now she really want me wipe her. She creeping like a sniper, nah, I can't fucking wipe her. I just want a Viper, nah, I don't want to wipe her.
What's up, my boy? How you doing?
What's good, bro? How you been?
Good, man. So I hear you just got back from New Jersey. How was it?
It was great. Going home was great. I got to see my family for the first time in a long time, almost a year. It's weird going back there once you start living on the West Coast, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It was cold out there, too. But, you know, it was good to be home, see people that have been supporting me way before any of this started. And, you know, so in some of the darkest parts of my life. And, you know, I got to see my family, which was the most important thing.
Right.
I went out there for my niece's christening. It was good to just be available to my family and be present. And besides that, you know, getting off the airplane, it's you know where you're at.
Yeah.
You know where you're at.
Yeah, touchdown. Fans want to know what part of New Jersey you're from. What was it like growing up there?
I'm from, I would say Rockaway, New Jersey. That's where I grew up. It's in Morris County, North Jersey. I'm from Jersey City. That's where I was born. You know, I grew up there when I was little. I was there almost every weekend, every other weekend with my grandpa. He lived out there. Yeah, I mean, I would say Rockaway, though. That's where everyone I'm from knows me. I grew up there. That's where I went to middle school and high school and elementary school. So, yeah, North New Jersey. I'll never rep South Jersey. That's Philly. You know? Yeah, you won't catch me in South Jersey unless I'm at the shore. Belmar. That's where I'll be.
Okay, I respect it. On episode 2, you and Tony talk about being in sobriety. That being said, are you still sober? Or what?
Yeah, no, I'm still sober.
Okay.
I just got 11 months. I'm about to come up on a year.
Right.
Yeah, I really don't have that much to say on it, program-wise, you know, because the program shouldn't be out in public like that. I'm not gonna put the program on a public platform, but for me myself, yeah, I'm sober. Me getting sober, I'll attribute to my friend AJ brought me out to California. You know, I do what they do in the program, what they tell you to do. I worked with someone who had better knowledge of how to live life than I did, and I've just done everything I was told to do, and it saved my life, and now we're sitting here, and I couldn't be more thankful for it. I'm sure if I didn't take the sobriety route when I did, I would definitely be dead.
Right.
I've overdosed 2 times.
Wow.
Well, 3 times, but 2 were like I woke up to EMTs and shit around me. You know, it's just I'm 25 years old now. I'm done with that life. You know, I sold drugs for a very long time, and it just brings nothing but problems and relationships that I'm not able to keep when I put myself before everybody else.
That's heavy, man. That's heavy. That's no joke. It's clear that, you know, there's, you know, a pandemic going on. There's an opioid pandemic going on, and, you know, people are dying out there. So I'm sure this is going to bring hope to, you know, maybe those fans out there, or maybe somebody that will come across your podcast. You know what? Honestly, that's very admirable. You know, that's very admirable. You know. So I have a question. How did you battle with your addiction?
You know, it came to a point where it was either I was gonna get sober or lose all relationships with like people that I love. And
right.
I did for half a year probably. And it doesn't feel good to, you know, wake up and do things that you wouldn't usually do to you know, just not feel sick for a day, you know?
Right.
And it's a disgusting way of living. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's fucking disgusting. And you know, I'm so glad I don't have to live like that anymore. How I deal with it now. I'm not gonna lie, it's an everyday struggle, you know, but I have better things in my life today that I put my energy towards that, you know, might inspire somebody else or just, you know, make life easier for somebody else or me. Like at this point in my sobriety, it's not really about me anymore. It's like my relationship with my family's good again. With my friends, like I can, you know, be there for people when they need me to.
Right.
At this point, it's more about giving back to people that are hopeless, like I was a year ago, you know.
And you say you have 11 months sober?
Yeah, I'm about to have a year on the 17th of this month.
A year. 1 year.
I appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man.
I appreciate that.
There's people. I mean, it's a miracle to survive 1 day, let alone a week, 2 weeks. That is courage. If he can do it, whoever's out there, you can do it.
Yeah, and I want to just touch on what you said. I hate when like people are inconsiderate or, you know, downplay this shit, and people are dying like all the time, and
it's not a game.
No, it's not a game, and it's, if I can give anybody hope through my podcast or through anything, or just anything that I do can just, you know, bring happiness to somebody, I'll keep doing it.
Right, absolutely. And you know, what would you say inspired you to really come out to the fans as, you know, I'm sure a grateful, recovering addict? What would you say inspired you to incorporate that into the Tom Bomb podcast?
I don't think it was intentional for it to come out that, like, I'm in the hip hop culture, you know. Right. It is what it is. I'm not gonna hate on what other people do, and I'm always gonna support everyone doing what they do that makes them happy.
Right.
But I think when the sobriety thing came out, I think it was me and Tony talking about, I think it was after Juice WRLD passed away. Oh no, it was the episode...
Rest in peace, Juice WRLD.
Yeah, it was the episode where we reviewed Juice WRLD's album. And, like, we both talked about our own struggles and how, you know, like, it could happen to anybody. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, it just came out. I mean, people hit me up about it after, and when I was off social media this week, that people were hitting me up concerned about it. But, I mean, I appreciate the support, and
right.
I just, you know, I'm not here to preach sobriety on people. You know, that's not my job.
Right.
But, I mean, there's no reason for me and Tony to not be honest about our lives on our platform.
Well, you know, there's many artists out there that are icons and that have become sober and have chosen to, you know, live and lead a sober life, and that also they incorporate that into their music. You know, I mean, it's no surprise that you know, the rap game has changed, the hip hop industry has changed, the industry in a whole has completely changed. You know, you go from throwback, and you know, in their music they told the story. You know what I mean? It was poetic. It was deep. It was meaningful. You know, now with the newer music, with the newer hip hop, right? You know, it's I love it. You know, it's different. It's different. But what would you say what would you say is the difference between throwback, which you have incorporated into your into the Tom Bomb podcast? I see that there's a diverse of musics and different categories. What would you say helped you get into all that?
I think the throwback music is it's what I grew up on. I mean, I'm from the East Coast. My older brother, they used to listen to Jay-Z, and Eminem was really big at that time. And I would always steal you remember the old Walkmans, the little CD player?
Yeah.
I would steal those. I would steal theirs.
Walkmans.
Yeah, I would steal the Walkmans, and that's what was playing through it. And then as soon as I was old enough to work a computer, I was, you doing what everyone else did and legally downloading everything on LimeWire.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. LimeWire.
Yeah, on LimeWire. And then I found
a
site even way back then, which is still up today, hotnewhiphop.com.
Okay.
And every day I would wake up and check it. I still do that now, but...
Right.
Yeah, I would just check it, and if it was an artist I liked, I'd download the song immediately. And, once you're into the music for so long, you see people that you enjoy and other people are on their songs for features.
Right.
And then I check out their catalog. And then I become a fan of them, or I don't.
Yeah.
And the old school thing, I think it's just from me growing up with older brothers in my house. And also, being on the East Coast helped a lot too. Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, like where I'm from, they're the best to ever do it. But it was also great how I found West Coast hip hop so early.
Right.
I was always a huge fan of Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre.
Right.
I mean, I still am. And then, it just trickles down. It goes from them down to like people on TDE, who's out here, Top Dog Entertainment.
Right.
Kendrick, Schoolboy, all them. And then on the East Coast, when I was in high school, I grew up like A$AP Rocky, A$AP Mob, all the artists from everywhere. And then I got into Atlanta music really from Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane.
And
legend.
Yeah, besides that, it's just, I've always had an ear for hip hop. And everyone around me when I was growing up knew that.
So I have to ask, Biggie or Tupac?
I mean, I'm from the East Coast. I'm going with Biggie. You know what I'm saying? It's not it's not no disrespect to Tupac,
right.
But I'm from the East, and it also depends. Am I trying to party? Am I trying to listen to some real shit?
Exactly.
If I want real shit, it's changes Tupac.
Right, there you go. Real love for music. All right, we're gonna take a commercial break. We'll be back with podcast questions. I hope you enjoy.
Been through a lot. You ain't got no heart, and your bitch ain't got no brain. She gave it to my man when we ran that fucking train. This ain't no drink.
Welcome back to the Tom Bomb podcast. Here we have Tom Bomb. Shout out Pop Radio Worldwide, Spotify Premium, iHeartRadio. Hope you enjoy it. What made you love hip hop, Tom? And who are you? Who are some of your favorite artists and why?
Favorite artists. Actually, I'll answer your first question first. What made me love hip hop was, my older brother. Like I said before, commercial. My older brothers were listening to it, and you know how it is when you're growing up. I just wanted to be like them, and then it took a life of its own, and I just didn't enjoy listening to other kind of music. I love the old school, growing up on the old school hip hop, where someone like Nas, where you can close your eyes like as a little kid and you can literally picture everything that he's saying, and I really don't have like a clear answer for it. It's just I love it, and I can't really express why I love it. It's just the whole culture, everything it comes with. the concerts, the tours, the albums,
Absolutely.
the features, different artists coming together. Great music. My favorite artist, I mean, I hate when, I'm glad you didn't ask for my top 5 rappers of all time, because I hate when people ask me that, because...
That's putting you on the spot.
No, it's just hard to answer, because I put them in 3 separate categories of rappers. Like, for old school for me, like, and I just want everyone to know this is in no order, just off the top of my head. Like, if I talk old school, like, I would, it's like Biggie, Pac, Big L. I'm a huge Big L fan. Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem, people like that, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, like, they're in that category for me.
We're neutral here, by the way. We're neutral.
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane, Wu-Tang Clan, like, they're all in that category. And then I'd break it down to another category.
Icons.
Yeah, and then I'd go down, so that'd be like the old school category, and then I'd go down another one, and it would be like even people that are still releasing music now, but they're kind of like have influenced. I mean, I would put Lil Wayne there, but because he's not old school, but he's been doing it for a long time. So like people like Lil Wayne. I could even put some in the second category, someone like Future.
Yeah,
he's been doing it for a long time.
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up listening to these artists too, man, and they're made priceless memories. Priceless memories.
Yeah, like I would put in the second. No, I agree with that. But the second, like Lil Wayne, Drake, I wouldn't put him as new school anymore. You know?
No.
People like that,
He can go into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, 100%. And like I'd put Young Thug in that category too. Influenced a lot of people. And
my boy.
There's a lot more like that. But then and then it comes down to what it is now.
And,
like the new school.
And I would say that speaking of Young Thug, I would say that Young Thug really kind of made a shift from when he first started to now. What do you have to say about that?
I agree with that. I think that Future and Young Thug right now are leading the wave for people younger than them, like the new school, like Uzi.
Right.
Like for the newer category, I'd put like Uzi. He's been doing it for a decent amount of time now. Right.
You gotta remind people of that sometimes, man. It's like,
yeah, I mean, like, and then there's also shit like that I don't enjoy. Like I'm not a fan of like someone like Lil Pump or like. But I also want to say like I get why these people blow up. Right. And like they're entertainers, and I'm not I'm not hating on their entertainment. When I come to my platform is about music only. I don't take everything else into consideration. I talk about the music because that's what I care about.
I respect that.
And
expect nothing less.
Yeah, like you wouldn't catch me listening to, Lil Pump in my car. But then people ask me, oh well, why do you listen to Uzi? And like, it's not really a fair argument for people who like both of them.
Oh, there's a clear difference. There's a difference. That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion.
No, there's a huge difference. It's just I understand why people listen to that music, and I don't hate on people for listening to it. It's just you won't ever find me listening to that.
So, how did you? I'm curious. How did you come up with the podcast? How did you come up with the idea for the podcast?
I've had the idea actually for the podcast for about 3.5 years before it started.
So this was stewing in your mind for 3 years?
It was never on paper. It was always in my head to do this.
Okay.
And before I did it, I was always watching stuff like this.
Right.
And I was always like, why isn't there just a platform where they talk about the music only?
Right.
Like I don't care about all the other stuff. Like I don't want to shit on academics, but like if you go on his Instagram, it's like some of the shit on there. Like no one gives a fuck.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to see a fucking video of someone who is gonna fucking could get them arrested. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's half like you're half music guy and then you're half clout chaser and then a little bit of Fed in you.
Yeah, yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
And
I totally agree with that, man. Dude, I agree.
like for example, right? I had King Crooked come on my show, and
Another legend.
oh, if you don't know who King Crooked is, I don't want your opinion on hip hop. But
Facts.
he came on my show, right? And you know, at the end, he thanked me and he appreciated it because it wasn't about anything outside of the music.
Right.
And that's what I'm about, is the music. And you know, like all the other outside shit, like I don't care about. And I also always wanted to know, when I was watching these shows, like no one would ever ask them their perspective on hip hop, you know, as a fan themselves. Like that's the first thing I ask every guest that's ever been on my show. Like, what made you love hip hop too?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like who
who that,
influenced you to start doing that?
Right. And that in itself, I think is so unique. I don't know anybody out there who is pitching it like this, and you know, that's amazing. And I can see in every episode that the artists appreciate it. You could see it in their face. You could hear it in their tone. They thank you for it. I mean, that's amazing. So let me ask you this, man. I'm sure with the show getting better and better, every episode that you had a well put together team to put this all together, man. Like,
you're asking if I had a team to put it together?
Yeah, give us some juice, man. What you got?
Look, I'll tell you this. I understand why you would ask it that way, and I understand why people might think that. But the crazy thing is, I don't have anyone doing anything for me. I do it all myself. The only person that's on board with me is Tony, and it's been that way from the start. And Alex, you know, he's behind the camera all the time. I mean, it's really us three and nobody else.
Wow.
You know we in Inglewood when you hear the car like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, it's just us. I mean, I spent like a good amount of my time working on the podcast, you know, even by myself. You know, I'm not with Tony or I'm not with Alex all the time. And I've sacrificed a lot of, you know, mental health and, you know, physical health too. I wasn't sleeping for more than, you know, 2 or 3 hours at a time for the first month and a half until like the show could kind of, you know, carry itself. But that's why I always do this too. I always answer anybody who's ever hit me up in my DM, no matter what, even if it takes me 2 weeks, because
I respect that.
No, because, you know, like, I like to let people know, like, I'm not better than anybody else.
Okay. So, just to clarify, you did this all from an iPhone?
Oh, you heard about that? Yeah. This is how it happened.
Tell the story.
Okay.
Tell the story.
So, I got it. Yeah. So, you know, I had the idea. I came home from, you know, working a 9 to 5 one day, and, you know, one of my roommates said, "What are you going to do with your life?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? You know, I have a job." And he was like, "No, like, this is what you're going to do forever?" And I was like, "I don't know, like, you know, I'm trying to figure it out." And then he was like, "Well, what do you really want to do?" And I told him. And, you know, I never told anyone about the show before that. And he was like, "Do it." And then, you know, I doubted it. I was like, "Nah, like, it takes a whole lot of shit," you know? And he goes, he goes, "No, just, like, shut the fuck up and get it done." And I woke up, you know, I went to bed and, like, I couldn't sleep because I kept thinking about it. And I was like, you know what, like, fuck it. I have nothing to lose at this point. So I started it, and, you know, I went to Tony with the idea, and, I mean, he supported it. And at that time, it was only us two who you know, who had any faith in it, honestly. And I walked up to Tony one day, and I wrote a script on my computer, and I explained to him how I wanted the show to be, and he thought it was great. And and then you know, like I was broke at that time, and I took my iPhone out and I went on Google and I figured
Starting
out
from the bottom.
I figured out how I could, you know, get it out to people.
Yeah.
And I took the iPhone and I found this app called Anchor, which I still drop my podcast off because it's connected to other, you know, every other service. And I took the phone like this, you know, and I sat it down and I pressed record. How we're sitting now, and you know, one episode went to the next.
Wow.
Yeah, one episode went to the next, and you know, from there everything, you know, caught on. You know, so people supported, and it grew to where it is right now.
Right. You know, so I have a personal question. Did you doing it from the phone? I noticed that a few episodes were, you know, audio, and people get a whole different experience on audio. I listen to podcasts on audio, just audio, you know, driving in the car. What gave you? What was the big change to recording on video? Fans get to see you. They finally get to see Tom Bomb, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it started with, honestly, like it started with Prince of Pain. I want to shout out Pop. You know, I had John Hill on my podcast. You know, he's been nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah.
He came on my show, and you know, after the show we talked, and he believed in me and what I was doing, and he hooked me up with the people in Chicago, and I talked to them, and they believed me too. They believed in me and my show, and they flew out here, and you know, they brought Cuban Links with them, and
Cuban Links,
and you know, like I grew up listening to Cuban Links, and you know, it's just a dream come true. I'm blessed, and I always thank everyone who supported me, and
I feel like who has it?
Yeah, and I always thank Pop, and I always thank John, you know, whenever I talk to him. Who knows where the show would be without them believing in me, and you know, they hooked me up with iHeart, and you know, like I'm just grateful. It's not, you know, I don't ever go out on my social media or on my show and trash any other person, and you know, I always support other people, like on my commercials now. Like I don't think anyone else would do what I do, where I reach out to.
Right.
I'll give anyone who makes music, if you want to come on the show, and you know, we work a deal out, like I'll put your music on my commercials.
Right.
You know,
right.
I don't know any other platform.
Respect.
I don't know any other platform that would do that, and I always want to keep it this way, where you know, no matter how big the podcast gets, I'm never, you know, I never want my ego or my head to get too big, because
you can't get more humble than that.
You know.
We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back after this. Shout out Pop Radio Worldwide, Spotify Premium, and iHeartRadio.
Fucking Viper, now she really want me wipe her. She creeping like a sniper, nah, I can't fucking wipe her. I just want a Viper, nah, I don't want a wiper.
Welcome back to the Tom Bomb Podcast. Here we have Tom Bomb. Let's get it. How have you got these big artists on your show? That's super interesting. Do you got a plug? You got a plug, man? How you getting these artists on the show?
Fortunate enough, you know,
I mean, literally, it's getting better and better and better and better.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No doubt.
I got lucky, you know. I mean, some of it's drive. Like, I've done a lot of things online, a lot of advertising. But luckily enough, I had someone from my own state bless me and come on the show. And he believed in me, and I only had one episode.
Respect.
I want to shout out Chad B. I always support Chad B. And, you know, where I'm from, I mean, a lot of people might not think unless they're from there. You know, he's as big or even bigger than Fetty Wap, where I grow up.
That's right. You did have Chad B on for the first episode, huh?
Yeah, he on episode 2. He was my first guest, and
wow.
you know, he believed in me and supported me, and I mean, ever since then, I've been blessed to have somebody on the show every single episode, and I can't thank Chad B enough, you know. I pitched to what I wanted to ask him before he came on, and, you know, he thought it was awesome, and he supported me, and I've done the same pitch to everybody else, and they've come on.
Right. I just want to reiterate, Chad B as his first guest. Okay, Chad B. Round of applause. I mean,
I appreciate that.
Come on, my man. Wow. So with your fan base growing bigger and bigger, obviously, you know, the show is working. How did you come with the format? How did you come up with the format?
You know, I don't remember exactly when I made the. Are you talking about the format for the show?
Yeah.
Oh, the format for the show I had, like I said, in my head for years.
Right.
And you know, I think a big thing that the fans like is the music review. You know, like I play the snippet of the song, and you know, I give my opinion on it, and you know, it is what it is. And I think I have enough knowledge of hip hop and the culture to give an opinion which most people agree with. And if they don't, that's great too. And I think that's why Tony's a great addition to the show also.
Right.
Because he listens to, you know, mostly only hip hop as well, and
Right.
you know, two different perspectives of it. You know, we go at it on the show, and I understand why people like that entertainment. And you know, me and Tony were doing these hip hop talks before it even went to a podcast. And you know, like I always wished the show would do that. So instead of, you know, waiting for it to happen, I made it happen. And
Right. Facts, my boy. Facts.
you know, like I drop a playlist the night it comes out.
I see that. That's,
And you know, I listen to all the music, and I pick the songs that I think are best and drop them on a playlist, and I release them for people to listen to. And
I'm sure fans like look forward to that. They look forward to like what's Tom Baum listening to for the week, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What's his jam? You know what I'm saying? Like that's interesting, man. I really haven't seen this on any other podcast. Like, I mean, that talks about hip hop, you know what I mean? They're very like mainstream, and like you're just unique, man. Like,
no, I appreciate that. And you know, the music review is a big thing. You know, I started off with like which every hip hop show does. You know, like
Right.
the facts of the week, or like what came out, and you know, then I like to break it down because my show's about music.
right.
It's not about artists outside life or how the media perceives them. And I mean, I guess at this point I am media, you know, but
Right.
which I don't even like.
So
I don't know. I don't like the title of being the media, you know, because I'm not someone who wants to know all this crazy shit or what you do when you're not
the humble giant, right?
doing what I like, you know, like
Right.
I don't judge like the Tory Lane shit that's going on.
Right.
You know, like that's none of my business.
It's ridiculous.
No, I get it's none of my business, and I'm never gonna make an artist outside life my business. You know, I want you on my show because I
Facts.
like your music, and I'm never
Facts.
gonna have someone on my show that I'm not a fan of their work or their music.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Well, yeah, I'm not a culture vulture. I'm not gonna ever. Oh, you have a hot single, come on my show. Like if I don't like your music, like I don't want to interview you.
Be who you are. Be who you are. Be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. This is what that looks like. In case you don't know what that looks like, or you need help with it. So, what makes your hip hop show different from the others? What makes your podcast different from the others that are out there?
I think the opportunities that I give, you know, people that just make music. I've had people play it on my commercial that
Right.
have 200 followers, you know, or just, you know, me breaking down songs from the new albums that came out, and also just my interview process of people that come on my show.
Right.
You know, like I'm not gonna come on and, you know, like King Crook came on. I didn't come at him and be like, hey man, like, what's up with you and, you know, everyone in your crew. You know?
Right.
I don't care about that. I just care about your music, and
Respect.
I always tell the artists while they're on my show how thankful I am for them to even come on. And it's been a blessing so far to have somebody on every week, and I didn't even imagine that would ever happen. And you know, I've never seen another show that's had a guest on every single time.
Me neither.
I mean, besides, like, you know, like No Jumper, like Adam 22, I respect his work and what he's done. And, you know,
Respect
like
that.
he has his own episodes
that.
where there's not an interview.
Right.
And I'm sure the day's going to come where, you know, I don't have a famous person on that week. And when that time comes, you know, I have other ideas for what I can do, and I'm going to continue to give back to people who, you know, make music. And the most important thing, you know, I live by this now since I got sober, and I've learned this as a little kid from my grandpa, and this is how I live my life now. No one, after all this podcast shit's done, and, you know, like, I'm old and no one wants to hear from the old guy anymore, which I understand.
Okay.
No one's gonna give a fuck about how much money I have or who came on my show, or
Amen to that.
or you know, how my clout, if that's what you want to call it. They care about how you treat other people. You get what?
Facts.
Do you get what I'm saying? So like,
Absolutely, man.
so like you know, like you might have 3 songs out, you know, and I think they're somewhat decent, and you want to come on my show, like, let's get it done. You know, I'll always give back to people, and I'll always answer anyone who supports me or my show. And it doesn't matter if it takes me 2 months to answer you because my inbox is full, I'll answer you. And it's never going to be someone else working my account.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's always going to be, you're going to be talking to me. And I think that people appreciate that. And, you know, I appreciate when the artists answer me. You know, it's like,
Right.
like when I get a response from like someone like, you know, CeeLo Green I've talked to, like,
Wow.
you know, like someone like that, like just him answering, you know, like,
That's a dream come true, man.
that's what I'm saying.
And that's what you're doing for other people. You know, I just want to put that out there, is that you're making it possible for them. You know, you're giving them a path that they don't have one. You know, and I just, nothing but respect, man. Nothing but respect. So, how did you feel? Because you mentioned iHeartRadio. How did you feel signing to iHeartRadio? What was the process with all that?
You know, I fell asleep like everyone in the whole world does every night, and you know, I woke up to a missed phone call from Chicago, and you know, I called back, thank God, and it was Prince of Pain on the phone. And at first I was like, you know, like, this is bullshit, someone's fucking with me, you know.
Yeah,
You know,
I feel
like,
you.
I hung up, and
I feel you.
and then, you know, he called back, and I knew it was him by his voice, and you know, we talked, and you know, he said he believed in me and my show, and he wanted me to be a part of it. And you know, after that, he flew out here to come see me, like a boss does. He does, you know, and we came to an agreement. He came, and you know, we had witnesses when I signed, and
Unreal. That's unreal, man.
and he also respected my wishes. You know, I own my own show. You know, no one owns it. He doesn't own it. iHeart doesn't own it. You know, they just distribute it. And I made it clear. You know, I'll tell you this. I wasn't going to go into this. When I was in one of my inpatients one time, I read the book that Russ wrote. You know, the rapper Russ. You know, everyone like, everyone was like, fuck Russ. And I'm thinking,
You're tripping.
No.
You're tripping.
no, I'm thinking, yeah, you can say fuck him, but this motherfucker's on the Forbes list. He's doing
right.
He's doing
right.
something right.
Right.
So
damn right.
I had one of my therapists.
Exactly.
She helped me out and she bought the book for me and I read that, and I knew from right there, if I ever start this podcast, I'll never give anyone any ownership. Even if they ask me for 1%, I would say no. And
respect it. There's a lot of independent artists out there. There's a lot of independent people who do work, and honestly, that's hard work, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's not taking the easy way out. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying respect. If you have the opportunity to sign to somebody or to make something happen, I respect that. But how you're doing it, that takes guts, man. That's quality. That's quality.
Yeah, no, and I made sure when that happened, I was very clear about it, and they respected it, and they made a dream come true,
right,
for me.
How did you deal with the pressure?
You mean, how do I still deal with it now?
How do you still deal with the pressure? Yeah.
At this point, I'm sure people that watch the show expect certain things, and I do my best in what I can do to give them that. And for me, it's a lot of people like to congratulate. Like Armani Caesar just came on, and that's a big deal.
Right.
I know hip hop, and I know what she's putting out, and I know where she's going to be soon. And I was fortunate enough to get her on my show, and I talked to her manager to get her on, and they made it. Yeah, they made it an easy process for me, and I'm forever grateful for that. And she dropped merch the next week, and I support the people that support me.
Wow.
I bought 2 hoodies off the site, and the same with Chad B. He just dropped it. He's about to drop a sneaker. I'll be up when it drops, and I'll buy it. If they support me, I'm gonna support them. And for the fans, a lot of them have bought my merchandise. And
right.
It's crazy when you see somebody else wearing something that came out of your head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally respect that, man.
And I think for the show and how people like it, and they anticipate the playlist, and they anticipate the music review, and they anticipate a guest on the show.
Right.
At this point, how do I deal with the pressure? I just keep grinding. There's not really a thought
clearly.
There's not really a thought in my head where it's not going to go well. Because
you also got Arsenal on the show, correct?
Next episode.
Is that true?
Yes.
No bullshit.
No, he's on it.
Okay. All right. Wow.
He's on the show.
All right, man. We're gonna take a commercial break. We'll be back after this.
Been through a lot. You ain't got no heart, and your bitch ain't got no brain. She gave it to my man when we ran that fucking train. This ain't no drain.
Welcome back. This is the Tom Bomb Podcast. Here we have Tom. So, there's so many achievements you've accomplished. I wanted to ask about your clothing line, that you mentioned before we went on break. I heard something about Legends, man. What is the idea, the inspiration behind Legends? Something I'd never seen before.
I started my own clothing brand, pretty early, actually. After, I think, the first episode,
right.
I started creating it, but I had the idea for the creation of the clothing line before, the episodes ever dropped. And, some people call it, that's psychotic, and, someone might call it genius. I don't know. I'm not the one to say. But
I say genius. What do you think?
Yeah. I appreciate it. But no, I had, the inspiration for Legends was, people always, talk about, the East Coast Legends, the West Coast Legends, and I decided that I was going to start my own thing with it and pay tribute to, you know, people who have affected music. I won't even say hip-hop, music in general. And, you know, I decided for the first drop to do people from, you know, my age group first. You know, from like 19 to like, you know, the oldest on there's probably what, 26 or 27?
Right.
And, you know, so I strategized it a lot, and, you know, I broke it. I mean, my designer, Tyler, you know, he helped a lot with it. You know, I came up with the bomb logo, the sad face. You know, a lot of people always want to ask about why is it a sad face, and then I always come with the answer, yeah, but look at the sleeve. You know, it has the sad face, the neutral face, and the happy face. And, you know, I put the sad face on front more because, you know, like this podcast, it's, you know, capitalizing off pain.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I can relate.
You know,
I can relate, man.
There's only enough pain someone could take before they give up or they choose to be great, you know, and I chose the other route. And for the Legends idea, you know, these are people of my age generation that, you know, are unfortunately gone at this point. And some due to, you know, a touchy subject that I go through, which is from drug addiction.
And I want to speak, you know what, I wanted to ask you that, like, the people that are on the back of that, the back of your clothing line, Legends, man, I mean, these are people that I listen to, you know. You know, I'm from Florida, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Broward County. And XXXTentacion was huge, man. Can you speak a little bit more on why you chose, unfortunately, these people in the show?
I think I chose them because, you know, I wanted to pay homage to people, you know, around my age that impacted music of my generation. And, you know, like the older people, you know, they always talk about the 27 Club, and the people from my generation don't even make it that far. You know, and
Facts. It's sad.
I'm gonna pay homage to people that, you know, impact the music game in a positive way, even if, you know, the music isn't as happy as, you know, other people's are. Like someone like, you know, like Juice WRLD, like, you know, but like Juice WRLD's music has got me through some of the worst times of my life, and this.
I can relate to that.
And you know, the same with Mac Miller. You know, I put Mac Miller in his own little category. You know, because
R.I.P. Mac, man.
Yeah, and you know, Pop Smoke. I got the Pop Smoke hoodie on. You know, like you know, a lot of people unfortunately like went on to his music after his death, but I was bumping
R.I.P. Pop Smoke. R.I.P. XXXTentacion. R.I.P. Mac Miller, man. R.I.P. Lil Peep. I mean, like,
he's on there too. Like, Nipsey's on there.
Nipsey,
you know?
Hussle, man. Like,
you know, his store's right down the street.
I mean, that leaves, like, and this is no bullshit, okay? This is facts, okay? That leaves a hole in my heart, man, because like you know, all I think about is like, what is there gonna be more music? Is there gonna be more music? I don't want to stop hearing from these people. I don't want to stop hearing from these legends. How do you relate to that? You know what I mean? Like how do you feel about that?
What, music after they died?
Yeah, I mean, even the day they, you know, at all due respect, even up to the day they died, man. How did you feel?
I mean, you know, it's unfortunate, and it's crazy to have feelings for someone when they pass away when you don't personally know them. But I think the most personal thing you can get to somebody is through their words and, you know, through their art. And fortunately, music is so great that you get that part of a person.
Right.
Even if it's, you know, sometimes at their own expense, which is unfortunate. But, you know, it's a reality. But I want to touch on the Legends clothing again. That was the first drop. I got many ideas in mind, and I think the next one I'm gonna do, since I am in LA, is I'm gonna do city to city. I'm gonna make one where it's all LA people. You know,
Showing love to LA, man.
I mean, I have to. I'm out here now. This is home now.
Wow.
This is home now. And and then I'll go back eat. Like, I'll do the New York. I'll go to Atlanta. I'll even go to Florida and Texas, like where music's big. And I can go city to city I think I will.
So there's more coming.
Yeah, and there's also
there's more merchandise coming.
I have two ideas. I'm gonna go city to city for the first one. Like, they'll all be different drops, and then I'm gonna do a Legends how I have the first drop where it's all people my age generation. It's gonna be old school people. Biggie, Pac, Eazy-E,
Throwback.
Big L, Big Pun.
Throwback.
So I think I'm gonna either do that. I might drop the old school one first, and then I'm gonna go city to city.
That's
with
ill,
the
man.
Legends. And
that is ill.
I got other ideas too. Other things too. I'm fortunate enough to have known people out here.
So what's next for the show, man? Any guests planned? Do you have anybody out there? Give us the inside scoop, man. Not that you haven't done it already, but what's up, bro?
I mean, I think the show, I'm gonna keep going. The same format. I mean, it's working, and I'm never gonna change what I do for an outside perspective.
Right.
And I'm always gonna keep close to why I started this, which is about the music. I'm always gonna put the music first and everything that comes with it after. Like, when I started this, it was because I love to do it. I'm not gonna change my passion for music because of like money or outside companies hitting me up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I see the show is gonna keep going up. Why wouldn't it?
What? Speaking of that, where do you see the show a year from now? Where do you see it at?
I mean, that's hard to say, man. I mean, the show's hasn't been around that long as like you would think it was at this point.
And it's okay. Thank you for bringing that up, man. Let me remind the fans and whoever's watching out there that all this was made in what? How about you? 2 months? 3 months you've been doing this?
2.5 months.
2.5 months. How many fans do you have?
I mean, I don't know. I can't really put a count on it. I mean, if you want to go off the Instagram numbers, I mean, that shit goes up and drops every day. I don't know. I don't know what it's at. I'll check right now what it's at.
All right, yeah.
I mean,
I want to know, man.
it's at 19.5K right now.
Damn.
I mean, I'm not really focused on the numbers too much, and
I respect it. I was just curious,
No, I get it, and I don't really care about the numbers. I care about quality and people that support me, and when I go on Instagram Live and someone requests to go in, like, I'm letting you in, and like the other day I went live and this someone requested, and I said, yeah, like, come in, and it's what was it, 12-year-old kid from New Mexico,
Wow.
and
they all over. They all over, man.
And he came in, and I said what's up to him, and I asked him if he was a fan, and he said he's been rocking with me since episode 2. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just to even have one person enjoy what I do and wait on another one to come, I couldn't ask for more than that.
That's pressure, man. Wow. So, I'm sure all the fans want to know, is there, you have a special someone out there? Is Tom single? What's the deal with that, man? What's poppin'?
You know, I'm 25. You know, I'm living in LA. I mean, I mean,
okay.
I wouldn't. You know, I'm just living my best life. You know what I mean? How to answer that. I mean, but if it's love, it's love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's love, it's love. You know, I'm not gonna deny that, but
I'll take that.
you know,
I'll take that.
I'm never gonna put, you know, my relationship, if I do have one or did have one, on a public platform. You know, it's.
I respect that, man. I respect that.
I don't need people harassing.
There's too
who I
many.
see.
There's too many relationships out there that are completely destroyed because of the media and
You know,
and y'all need to stop doing that, man. For real, y'all need to stop doing that. This come on now. That's petty. These people, I mean, they completely deteriorate relationships, man.
No,
So
I
respect that.
I get it. And
That's love.
It's not like if I had a girlfriend, I'd be ashamed to post her on that.
Not at all.
I don't want to put that out either. And you know,
Didn't even cross my mind.
I'm at the point in my life where, like I said, if it's love, it's love. If it ain't, it ain't. I'm not gonna fucking, you know, do some dumb shit. I'm 25. You know, I don't really have time for the little kid games anymore. You know, I'm too busy of a person at this point in my life to chase multiple people. I'll put it that way.
Wow. Tom Bomb, man, thank you for the show. Thank you for the interview, man.
Yeah, no
I
problem,
respect
bro.
it.
I appreciate you reaching out, you know, and wanting to interview me. And I know it's been a long journey for you to get to this bench, and I'm more than happy to, you know, have an honest conversation with, you know, someone that I consider a good friend. And
Thank you, man.
and you know, the last thing I want to say to people is, you know, dreams do come true, you know, and you don't have to, like, no matter where you are right now, low in your life or anything, I mean, you can accomplish your dreams, you just have to work for them.
This is the Tom Bomb Podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here with us. Much love. I want to shout out Pop Radio Worldwide.
Shout out Pop.
Spotify Premium. And iHeartRadio. Thank you for watching.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate you.